The world watched in astonishment in 2019, as then-President Donald Trump expressed a keen interest in purchasing Greenland. This bold and unexpected move caught many off guard, sparking a whirlwind of reactions from political analysts, global leaders, and the general public alike. The idea of a modern-day land purchase seemed almost surreal, reminiscent of historical deals like the Louisiana Purchase or the acquisition of Alaska. This seemingly outlandish proposition was met with a mixture of amusement and concern from the international community. Some saw it as a strategic masterstroke, while others dismissed it as another one of Trump's eccentric ideas. The Danish government, which oversees Greenland, was quick to reject the notion, stating that Greenland was not for sale. Fast forward to December 2024, and Trump, now a former president, has once again ignited the controversy by reigniting his interest in acquiring the massive island. This renewed interest has brought the topic back into the limelight, prompting discussions about the feasibility and implications of such a move. This time, he took to his social media platform Truth Social to declare that owning Greenland is an absolute necessity for U.S. national security and global freedom. His posts have garnered significant attention, with supporters rallying behind the idea and critics questioning the practicality and legality of such a claim. The timing of this statement coincided with the appointment of Ken Howery, a close confidant of Trump, as the U.S. ambassador to Denmark, further fueling speculation about Trump's intentions. Howery's appointment has been seen by some as a strategic move to facilitate discussions or negotiations regarding Greenland. This unexpected resurgence of interest in Greenland has reignited the debate about the island's strategic importance, the legalities of such a transaction, and the potential motivations behind Trump's statements. Experts are divided on the issue, with some highlighting the potential benefits of such an acquisition while others warn of the diplomatic fallout it could cause. Trump's pronouncements have not occurred in a vacuum. They come at a time when the Arctic region is gaining increasing geopolitical significance. The melting ice caps and the opening of new shipping routes have made the Arctic a focal point for global powers, each vying for influence and control over this strategically important region. They come at a time when the Arctic region is gaining increasing geopolitical significance. Climate change is opening up new shipping routes and access to untapped resources, turning the Arctic into a potential arena for competition among global powers. The region's vast reserves of oil, gas, and minerals have made it a highly coveted area, with countries like Russia, China, and the US all seeking to establish a foothold. Climate change is opening up new shipping routes and access to untapped resources, turning the Arctic into a potential arena for competition among global powers. The strategic importance of the Arctic cannot be overstated, as it holds the key to future trade routes and resource extraction. Trump's statements, therefore, need to be understood within this broader context of shifting geopolitical dynamics and the growing importance of the Arctic in international relations. The international community is closely monitoring these developments, aware that any significant move in the Arctic could have far-reaching implications for global politics and security. The international community is watching closely to see if Trump's statements translate into any concrete actions. While some view his comments as mere rhetoric, others believe there could be a strategic plan behind his words. The potential for a significant geopolitical shift is real, and the world is waiting to see how events unfold. Some analysts believe that Trump is merely trying to stir up controversy and remain relevant in the political arena. His statements could be seen as an attempt to galvanize his base and keep his name in the headlines. However, the implications of such statements cannot be ignored, as they have the potential to influence international relations and policy decisions. Others, however, see his statements as part of a larger pattern of challenging established norms and asserting U.S. dominance on the world stage. Trump's approach to foreign policy has always been unconventional, and his interest in Greenland could be viewed as an extension of his broader strategy to reshape global dynamics in favor of the U.S. Whatever his motivations, Trump's renewed interest in Greenland has once again thrust the island into the global spotlight. The world is watching closely, and the coming months will likely reveal whether this is a serious geopolitical maneuver or another chapter in Trump's unpredictable political journey. Greenland, the world's largest island, is a land of stark beauty and extreme conditions. Its vast, icy landscapes and remote location make it a unique place on Earth. Despite its size and distinct geography, Greenland is not a nation-state in the traditional sense. It doesn't have full sovereignty like other countries. Instead, it exists in a unique political arrangement with Denmark, a relationship that has shaped its modern identity. While geographically a part of North America, Greenland's political and cultural ties are deeply rooted in Europe, specifically with Denmark. These ties have been established over centuries, with Greenland being politically and culturally connected to Denmark since the early 13th century. This historical relationship dates back to the 13th century, when Greenland first came under Danish influence. Although Greenland was granted home rule in 1979, allowing it to manage many of its own affairs, it remains an integral part of the Kingdom of Denmark. This means that while Greenland has a significant degree of autonomy, it is not entirely independent. Greenland enjoys self-governance in many areas, managing its own domestic affairs such as education, health, and natural resources. However, certain key areas like foreign policy, defense, and monetary policy remain under Denmark's control, reflecting the complexities of their relationship. Greenland's population of around 56,000 is primarily Inuit, a people with a rich cultural heritage and a distinct identity. The Inuit culture is vibrant and deeply ingrained in Greenlandic society, with traditions and practices that have been passed down through generations. The Greenlandic language, along with traditional Inuit practices, remains strong and is a vital part of the island's unique heritage. Cultural festivals and heritage sites across Greenland celebrate this rich history, showcasing the island's unique identity. Despite its political ties to Denmark, Greenland has been increasingly asserting its autonomy in recent years, seeking to carve out a more independent path. Greenlandic leaders have been vocal about their desire for greater self-determination, reflecting a growing sentiment among the population. This desire for self-determination is a powerful force in Greenlandic society, driving discussions about the island's future and its relationship with Denmark. Any discussion about Greenland's future must take into account the aspirations of its people, who are increasingly looking towards a future with more autonomy. The complexities of Greenland's political status make the question of its ownership a thorny issue, with many layers of historical and cultural significance. While Trump's statements about purchasing Greenland suggest a straightforward transaction, the reality is far more nuanced and complicated. The strategic importance of Greenland, coupled with its unique cultural and political landscape, means that any discussions about its future are far from simple. Greenland is not a commodity to be bought and sold. It is a land with its own distinct culture, history, and political aspirations. The people of Greenland have a rich heritage and a strong sense of identity, which must be respected in any discussions about their future. Trump's ambition to purchase Greenland, though surprising to many, does have historical precedence. The idea of acquiring this vast, icy territory has intrigued American leaders for decades, driven by both strategic and economic interests. This is not the first time the United States has expressed interest in acquiring the Arctic island. The allure of Greenland's untapped resources and its strategic military position has made it a point of interest for the U.S. government on multiple occasions. In 1946, at the height of the Cold War, the United States under President Harry Truman offered Denmark $100 million to purchase Greenland. This proposal was part of a broader strategy to counter Soviet influence and secure key locations for military bases. This proposal, motivated by Greenland's strategic location during the Cold War, was summarily rejected by Denmark. The Danish government, valuing its sovereignty and the autonomy of Greenland, refused to entertain the offer. The 2019 episode where Trump's interest in buying Greenland became public knowledge caused a significant diplomatic rift between the U.S. and Denmark. The proposal was seen as unconventional and somewhat audacious, leading to widespread media coverage and public debate. The Danish government, taken aback by Trump's unconventional approach, publicly declared Greenland not for sale. The Prime Minister of Denmark emphasized that Greenland's future is determined by its people, not external powers. This led to the cancellation of a planned state visit by Trump to Denmark, highlighting the seriousness with which Denmark views its relationship with Greenland and its sovereignty. The incident underscored the importance of diplomatic respect and the complexities of international relations. These historical examples underscore the fact that the notion of buying Greenland is not a new one. It has been a recurring theme in U.S. foreign policy, reflecting the island's perceived value in terms of both security and resources. It has been explored in the past, driven by strategic considerations, particularly during times of heightened geopolitical tensions. The Cold War era, in particular, saw heightened interest due to the island's proximity to the Soviet Union. However, the consistent and unequivocal response from both Denmark and Greenland has been a firm no. The people of Greenland have repeatedly expressed their desire to remain autonomous and not be treated as a commodity. The historical record demonstrates that Greenland is not merely a piece on a geopolitical chessboard, but a place with its own agency and the right to self-determination. The island's rich culture, unique environment, and the will of its people are central to its identity and future. In response to Trump's renewed statements about purchasing Greenland, the reaction from both Greenland and Denmark has been swift and unambiguous. Greenland's Prime Minister, Mute Ejedi, issued a firm statement declaring, "Greenland is not for sale. We are not a commodity to be traded. We are a people with the right to self-determination." This sentiment reflects the overwhelming consensus among Greenland's population and its political leadership. The Danish government echoed Greenland's stance, reiterating that Greenland is not for sale and emphasizing the special relationship between Denmark and Greenland. This unified front against Trump's proposal underscores the strong bond between Greenland and Denmark, despite their unique political arrangement. It also highlights the importance both nations place on international law and the principle of territorial integrity. The strong and unified response from Greenland and Denmark sends a clear message to the international community. Greenland's future will be decided by its people, not dictated by the interests of external powers. The message is clear. Greenland is not a bargaining chip in a geopolitical game.